All right, everyone, welcome back into day 3 here on the account. We have made a lot of progress in between videos. The new war is done. All the quests before the new war are done. We made a lot of good plat. We got 4 or 5 good frames now. We've got Rhino, we've got Wukong, we've got Exacku Prime. I was running relics and actually was able to pick him up, so I just went ahead and build him. I normally don't use him, but he can do some things like break crates and stuff, so it's good resources until I can actually get my hands on Korra. I'm missing a systems on her. I'm missing Volt's Neuroptics for his prime. And then, of course, Titania I'll probably just end up buying. I think she's going for like 80 platinum. Seems like some of the primes are actually lost value. I was actually thinking about selling Exacku, but he's only going for 25. And if you can already have a Warframe, I would just recommend just building them out instead of just selling them for that such low level of plat. But yeah, then after the new war, it was just right into Hydron and the grind. We are going to end up subsuming Rhino for his roar, so I went with him first. I'll keep Wukong for a while, and then eventually when I get the Prime, he'll get subsumed. Pretty much all the Warframes now, except Exacku Prime, will get subsumed once I get the Prime versions of them, but we bought a lot of weapons, so we needed a lot of credits, so I ended up having to run Index. After you complete the new war, you will actually get a 3-day credit booster, which is really handy. You also get an affinity booster, but we still have like 7 days left on it. Most players won't get through the new war in like 3 days, so take your time with it. It's like a 6.5 hour grind. I've played it like 3 or 4 times, so I kind of know how to like speed it up and like cut the cinematics and stuff, but if you're playing it for the first time, just enjoy it, take your time. I think the most problematic for players, at least for me, is the Vico or the Veko with the Jackal. That'll be really tough, but other than that, it's actually a really well done mission. Going forward, we have Whispers in the Wall, we have a few of the other story quests, and then it's just on to 1999, and then it is on to the old piece. I'd like to get everything caught up before March. That way, when the new quests come out, we can kind of just go ahead and do it, and we'll be all caught up, and then it's just the MR grind. It's coming into Hydron, or I think it's Helena, if you don't want to do such a higher level to do weapons grind, and of course you can do the Sanctuary as well. I will probably end up doing the Sanctuary later on in episode, just to kind of show you how to do that for the level grind as well. And then we do a lot of plat as well. I've actually gotten super lucky. I'll kind of talk about this here a little bit later on. We do the Corrupted Vaults, and we do Deimos bounties. That's pretty much what I did all day after the new war yesterday. The reason I do this is because you're going to get a lot of resources altogether. You're going to get Aya from the Deimos bounties. You're going to get Endo from the Deimos bounties, and you're going to get Weeping Wounds and Blood Rush that sell for decent plat. Weeping Wounds actually sells for a little bit more, so keep your eye on that. And then, of course, in the Deimos and the Corrupted Vaults, I was actually surprised that a lot of these are not selling for what I thought. Like, Fleeting Expertise sells for like 8 or 9 platinum. It used to sell for like 15 or 20. Transient Fortitude sells for like 10. Blind Rage and Catalyzing Shields are honestly the only two that are worth decent plat. I sold a Blind Rage for 20. I sold some Catalyzing Shields for like 22. But other than that, pretty much everything else is kind of hit or miss. If you're just starting out, Fleeting Expertise and Transient Fortitude, make sure you always keep a copy for yourself. I have everything except Blind Rage, but somebody offered me 20 plat for it, and I couldn't turn it down. Make sure you set up your Warframe marketplace. I've actually made like 120 plat in 3 days. We bought a few Warframe slots and weapon slots. That's going to chew up a lot of your early game platinum. And then, of course, when we get to it, resource boosters, credit boosters, things like that. And eventually, once you start getting things more organized, that's when you can start going for your Titania Primes, your Volt Primes, your Korra Primes, if you want to do Hydroid. I usually just use Korra, but we're going to get them all, so we'll kind of go ahead and test them out. I also want to say thanks for all the support on the videos, the subscribers, and the likes and stuff. It really means a lot. I'm really excited what we're going to do in the future. We're pretty much, like I said, once you get the new war done, the game opens up, and it's pretty much just a free-for-all, and get to MR30. So we also did, in the last episode, I had to level up the Scepter. I don't like it, but I had to keep packing it around to try to level it up. We got Vicious Spread there. The RNG on the vaults was pretty okay. Like I said, I got a few transient fortitudes and a few fleeting expertise. I think I actually still have 2 narrow-minded, so I might sell one of those. I think they're going for like 10 or 12 plat. Catalyzing Shields has always sold well, and Blind Rage for that strength. And then we come in and we start doing the Deimos bounties. Got a lot of lenses. I actually unlocked Matter Eye doing this, so we actually have the energy one and the Matter Eye to get Void Spike. So that was a bonus. I've gotten a few of these, so we might actually start doing the greater lenses. It's where you combine like 3 or 4 of these other lenses to get more focus to try to get things unlocked. Here I noticed that Weeping Wounds and Blood Rush were on all day, back and forth for like 3 to 4 hours. So it was a great way to get the lenses. That's kind of like the bare minimum. And then the Endo, which is always nice. I won't turn down Endo and Aya. I think I have like 10 or 12 Aya. So in the next episode, after we get through Whispers in the Walls, as there's Weeping Wounds, but after we get through Whispers in the Wall in 1999, we'll probably start doing Aya runs to get some more vaulted things. I think right now I have a few for Necros Prime, which would be kind of cool. He's also another farming frame, so picked up a lot of Zaku regular. I'm not going to build him right away. And that's also a good way. Make sure you keep your eye out on your inventory, because I had like 15 or 20 Zaku Neuroptics to try to sell for credits as well. Here's Wukong. He's okay. Like I said, the Cloud Walker will come in handy for the spy missions, and he does have his twin ability, and then he basically is just Wukong. He has his staff, which does a lot of good damage if you put like Void or the Poison and Frost, the Freeze on it, along with some melee damage and crit damage mods. So it's pretty much what I did. And then when we get his Prime, he'll end up getting subsumed. So he did some good work here in Hydron. I still like Mag for the pool. It just makes it a little bit easier. Once we get like Sevagoth and Protea, I like using Protea a lot. And Sevagoth, he's actually going for 25 platinum too for his whole set. So might look into him as well. It's kind of shocking how cheap primes are going nowadays. We also get mother tokens when we do the bounties, which is also very handy for your rep. We actually have enough now to get the Helmuth. You got to get to level 3 and you have to be MR 8. So make sure you're doing your Deimos bounties every day to make sure you level up. And then you also are going to need the purple tags. I got a few of those as well when we were out on the bounties as well. So keep an eye on the purple flying creatures. It'll say like purple something. It looks like a big mosquito. But here is what we actually got. And I was actually blown away because most of the blind rages were going like for 14. But he was actually nice enough to give me blind rage for 20. And then this Expel Orkin is actually going for 15 platinum. I just sold it for 14 to get it out the door. So keeping your eye out on like the trade you can do where you can take the silver mods and trade them back in. That's one you need to keep an eye on. That was good platinum. And then here's where I got the blind rage for 20. I think it was because he had trouble connecting, so he gave me a little bit of extra plat, which is always nice. So we're right now, as recording this video, we have like 110 platinum. I'm probably going to save to get to like 500 and then probably just buy all the primes at the same time. That way I can just do like a mass guide and then upgrade them all and build them all, because I have to unlock all those Warframe slots. And then the last thing I want to say is make sure you keep an eye on your Railjack grind. The intrinsics, especially if you don't have your double XP, is a grind. I actually got everything up to 5, and then I went and did the new war. Plus, it'll help you. There's a few missions in there, and we have to use your Railjack. I hired a crew. I only hired 2 because Ticker didn't really have any good crew members. So, but yeah, we are on to Whispers in the Wall, and we're on the MR grind. Right now we're MR5 as recording this video, so I'll keep you guys up to date. Thanks for watching so much, and I'll see you later.